Elon Musk says now he is considering suing the Anti-Defamation League for lost advertising revenue on X, formerly known as Twitter. Over the weekend, Musk wrote on X, quote, "The ADL has been trying to kill this platform by falsely accusing it and me of being anti-Semitic." Musk claims ad revenue down 60% in the U.S. because of that, adding he's against anti-Semitism of any kind. Back in May, the ADL released a report saying the platform does not do enough to combat hate speech. This as researchers found thousands of anti-Semitic posts after Musk gained control of the site and reinstated previously banned accounts. Joining us now here in studio, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt. Jonathan, good morning.
We had a frank and productive conversation, as I've had with Elon Musk in the past, and then that triggered a number of white supremacists to organize this hashtag campaign, Ban the ADL. And you've got to understand, and we're used to this at the ADL, we regularly get attacked by the right and the left, but this campaign went viral very quickly with white supremacists, hardened anti-Semites and other people spreading it across the service. And it literally was a trending topic over the course of the weekend.
Do you fundamentally believe that Elon Musk is anti-Semitic?
I have never said Elon Musk is anti-Semitic. But let's acknowledge that when Elon Musk and the platform bring people, hardened anti-Semites, back on, when they validate their rantings, when they algorithmically amplify them and allow it to spread. Like, Andrew, here's the thing. I have to deal with, as the head of the ADL, the real world consequences. So just put this in context. In the last few years, we've seen a historic rise of anti-Semitic acts of harassment, vandalism, and violence. Over the past month, we've seen dozens and dozens of swattings of synagogues, bomb threats against Jewish institutions. This past weekend, we had Nazis marching out in the open in Florida. It looked like a scene from Charlottesville. Look, it's hard for me to understand exactly what's happening over there. I understand they have a big business problem. I mean, Elon tweeted something I didn't know, that the advertising revenue's down 60%. They will make their own decisions. I mean, let's be clear here. Like, this is the wealthiest man in the world running one of the most powerful media platforms on the planet. We're a nonprofit here in New York. So I think figuring out, like, who has the power in this relationship, it's pretty clear to me.
Tolerance for anti-Semitism.
Sure.
Zero tolerance for diluting the First Amendment. Should crazy white supremacist Nazis be able to march?
Well, of course they should be able to march.
So they should be able to march.
The ADL defended the right of Nazis to march. But maybe they shouldn't march right in front of the synagogue on a Saturday morning. There are ways we can have free speech and open dialogue.
How out there are you, publicly and behind the scenes, talking to advertisers and telling them do not advertise on this platform?
They're not out there publicly or privately talking to advertisers. They will make the decisions that they want to. We did call for a pause back in November after the acquisition. And then since then, since that initial statement, what we are doing is engaging with the management of the company, trying to help them make it better. Twitter was less full of hate. But after I met with her and tweeted out that that meeting had happened, the white supremacists went wild. And what's scary is this is happening in a moment when anti-Semitism is at a historic high. We had Nazis marching openly in Florida this weekend, chanting, ban the ADL. What they brought to their march came literally from Twitter.
It was unbelievable. He allowed extremists back onto the site. You guys have documented how the anti-Semitism has come back to Twitter in waves.
The platform itself clearly isn't inherently anti-Semitic. That's my job as the head of the ADL, to stop anti-Semitism, racism, all forms of bigotry. And the truth is there is a problem on the platform. It's not unique to Twitter, but Twitter has uniquely, in the last 6 to 9 months, brought on all these different extremists and anti-Semites.
And it looks, John, to most people like the website has tanked and he needs a scapegoat, and here comes the ADL.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a scapegoat.
Irrespective of what you think you're seeing on this platform, advertisers are voting with their feet. They're voting with their pocketbook. They're looking at what they're seeing on Twitter, and they're deciding that they think it's not a brand safe place to be. I know Linda Yaccarino has talked about making some of that limit in terms of the amplification, but even if it exists on the platform at the same time that brands have to pay or want to pay or don't want to pay in this case to be near this stuff, how you make a business out of that, I think, is a real question, and that's what they're grappling with right now.
It looks, John, to most people like the website has tanked and he needs a scapegoat, and here comes the ADL.
And unfortunately, a scapegoat that, as we hear throughout history,
right,
with so much anti-Semitism behind it. And you're not saying that he himself is anti-Semitic, but tell us how you see that site give cover to those who are.
Well, there's no doubt that Twitter has never been good under the previous management. What we've seen is a lot of these extremists have been re-platformed, and you just have to open up your phone and look at what's happening right now. Put in the hashtag ban the ADL.